My name is Melissa McQuilkin. I'm the Director of Respite Services for Broward Children's Center in Broward County, Florida. Currently in Broward County, there is a vast need for respite services. We have a lot of families that are in need of support services as funding for a lot of other programs have been cut, aftercare services, school services, summer camps. A lot of our families either can't afford a babysitter or a babysitter is not going to be appropriate for their child. This respite program is a great opportunity for our parents to get a break. Some of them just need to go to work, need to go to the grocery store. They haven't had a date with their husband in 5 years. And a lot of them, you can just see the amazing difference when they just get a few hours to take a nap. Just being in this training, it's making me realize how similar respite is across the country. A lot of the situations that we have and the experiences that our staff have, you don't realize that, in another state across the country, respite programs are going through such a similar situation. And so this training, much more than I thought, is going to be so beneficial to our program and provide even our current staff a lot of the tools that they need to be able to provide respite more effectively.
My name's Joan Rafferty. I work for the Massachusetts Lifespan Respite Coalition. I'm the project coordinator. We did a needs assessment about a year and a half ago and really interviewed lots of family caregivers from different walks of life, and their care recipient was from different populations, and it was really interesting to hear that the common need is respite, and that they really, it's just so difficult to find people, like I said, find a trained provider that they can trust, which is a huge piece for families, and someone that they can afford. Well, I came to this training because I think that volunteer respite workers, they need some kind of a training. They need something that legitimizes what they're doing or gives them some sort of a baseline information to go forward. And from the caregiver point of view, family caregivers want somebody that has some kind of training. Well, the future for the need of respite, again, the baby boomers are aging out. There's a whole group of people in the adult onset population, whether it's Parkinson's or multiple sclerosis or traumatic brain injury, that need respite services. Children, we look at lifespan, even in the developmentally disabled population, children might be involved at birth, but they're going to be living out their whole lives. We have people who are elders that are in the developmental disabled population, so the need is it's growing. The research is showing that there will not be enough providers going forward or personal care attendants to meet the need, even in paid positions. So I just think that we really, as a community, need to look outside the box and figure out how we can help people and solve this problem.
My name is Gina Irve. 10 years ago, I started a nonprofit organization called Respite Outreach Care for Kansans Organization. It's also known as ROCCO, and it was started based out of a need that I saw in our community for families that cared for children with disabilities to have that time off, to have that break, to be able to find someone that was well trained to meet the needs of their child. And we initially started providing respite for youth ages 3 through young adults with a long-term vision of being able to expand services to provide them across the lifespan for people of all ages and all types of special needs. The REST training was particularly interesting to us because training is such an issue that every state, no matter where you're from, it is a struggle to find what is that right balance of training to provide to volunteers. How can we empower them to feel safe and to feel energized about their role at being able to provide that safe quality care, but not overwhelm them and make them feel like this is way more than what I signed up for and I can't possibly have the gifts that you're looking for. Really is how to find that training that is going to make them comfortable and prepared and not overwhelmed. And that's why we're here, is we are just excited that the REST training is a great model that is professional, it is concise, and it's going to be a great way for us to spread a package of knowledge that is consistent across our state.
I'm Susan Bocart. My agency is Central Nebraska Community Services. I coordinate the Nebraska Respite Network for our agency in 45 counties. one need we're really finding with families who need a break, and this is across the lifespan, is behavioral issues. It's becoming very big, and it's becoming quite an important training issue for us. So we have trained families and respite providers in handling behaviors, whether it's the typical elderly dementia, Alzheimer's patient with behaviors, as well as children with behaviors. Many times foster parents and adoptive parents face behavioral issues with the children that are in their care. And so we have kind of taken that on in the last year and a half to provide quite a bit of training in that area. I think training is vital to respite providers and the families. Training, we have to have respite providers who are comfortable in that role, and the other side of that, of course, we have to have, it's that trust issue. The families have to be comfortable in knowing that they have someone that will take care of their loved one while they take that short break. So training is vital. Many of our respite providers come to us with quite a measure of training, but not all. And this could give an opportunity to, this training, REST, could give an opportunity to someone who never even thought that they could do this type of work, and give them the confidence that they need.
My name is Kate Duback, and I am the State of Illinois' Respite Care Coordinator with the Illinois Respite Coalition. I think respite in Illinois as well as nationally is a very urgent matter right now. There are, thousands of caregivers around that aren't getting the break that they need, and especially we work with DCFS, and the foster families are in huge need of respite. I think that there are a lot of people that haven't even heard the term respite yet, and there are a lot of people that don't know, I deserve this, this is available to me. Enough people don't know about respite, know that it's available, know that there are ways to talk to their legislators and try to get more respite. It's just not talked about enough. You have to be an advocate, not only for disabilities, not only for issues across the lifespan, but you need to advocate for giving caregivers a break. You need to advocate and let them know that they are caregivers. A lot of people don't even want to acknowledge that they are a caregiver, that they are that title. They just think, no, I'm just doing my job. I'm a mom, I'm a sibling, taking care of my sibling because they need it and I love them. They need to know that they're a caregiver, and then after that, then we can approach the subject of respite. When I heard about the REST training and knew that by participating in it, I would be able to facilitate trainings to volunteer respite workers, I knew right then and there that I needed to come for this. I think that training, you have to have some type of training for something to be successful. Yes, there aren't standards right now that people have to meet to be a respite worker. But in order for people to feel comfortable and for them to, continue doing what they're doing and be able to provide the care that's actually needed, for the caregiver to be comfortable enough to leave their loved one with someone, you want to know that they're trained. You want to know that they are able to provide assistance in an emergency or, with any types of the, medical complications that might be happening, or to be able to communicate with someone that's nonverbal. You need some training for that.
Misty McIntyre. I am the respite coordinator for the southeast corner of Nebraska and coordinate respite across the lifespan in 17 counties. We attend lots of health career fairs at the colleges and universities, and most of the universities have a job website that it reaches all of the community colleges in Nebraska, so we'll advertise on there for respite providers. And we work the university in where my office is, they have a geriatric program, and we work with that professor a lot to recruit volunteers that need community service hours for their program or just want additional experience working with the elderly. And I feel it's important to send out trained respite providers that have a good idea of what's expected of them and teach them how to handle certain situations and be as prepared as possible. I think it's been a great training, and I'm excited to get back and offer the training to the MOPS groups and local churches and I'm excited about it. So I think it'll help give our network more trust from the caregivers. I think knowing that they've been through an 8-hour training session, and during that training, the way it's set up, we would develop a relationship with the caregivers because it's very interactive.
Okay, my name is Candace Grower. You know, like everybody else, we're working with very limited resources, and we're still, as far as our organization goes, we're still pretty small. So just educating people that we exist, and educating them about what respite is. A lot of people still don't really understand what respite is. Honestly, with all of the looming federal budget cuts, I think that the need for us to pull together and provide respite to one another is just going to continue to grow. We also are in the process of trying to organize a new volunteer class and get them trained as well. So this falls in perfectly with that. The timing is absolutely perfect, and I'm excited to be able to take what I've learned here and apply it to our next class of volunteers coming in.
My name is Pauline King. I work currently at the Area Office on Aging of Northwest Ohio in Toledo, Ohio. I am the Family Caregiver Support Coordinator. I really feel comfortable having sound, documented resources, and it just gives me the confidence and assurance that we're doing the right thing and that we're following a structure and that we have the appropriate resources. I really feel comfortable having the materials to use in the point of reference and having the resources to come to and say, hey, what about this scenario? What do you think? So I'm glad I connected and made that connection, and I'm glad I attended the program as well. I feel the respite training will improve my skills as a nurse. I potentially work with a lot of adults and adult learning, but my area of specialty is in aging. And coming to this training, it gave me a much more broad perspective. It gave me a perspective on autism, children with disabilities. So it kind of opened my awareness that it is other types of respite that's needed and deserved, and how you can use the caregivers to tell you exactly what they need. So it gave me another perspective of course, the lifespan, but also looking at it from a caregiver's perspective.
I think from the larger perspective, when you look at whether it was respite years ago or respite today, it's really what can we do as individuals, what can we do as organizations to affect change for caregivers. It was these parents that choose to keep their loved ones at home, they really need a break.